The ID Buzz is stylish and it's electric, but is it right for window cleaning? Let's find out.
Okay, so you're considering getting an ID Buzz, but you're unsure of how much or what system you can put inside it. So we've made our special tech plate. That plate will allow you to have, ideally, a 350-litre system in the back. They're not huge in the back, which is one of their downfalls. They are bringing out a longer wheelbase, or they've brought it out, or they're bringing it out. So that's handy, which I think has a higher payload. But currently, I recommend 350 in the back of an ID Buzz. But down to performance, man, they're knocking on like 300 brake. They're lovely. They're stupid fast. They're motor driven, so they're instant torque. Even with a heavy load in them, they're really fast. And you, once you've had one and you've driven one and you've been in the interior in one of these things, you won't go back to being in a combustion engine lightly. Once you've been in it for a couple of months, you then go and get in a normal van and you'll be like, no, I want to be back in that Buzz. So down to the aspect of the window cleaning side of things, it's fantastic. They're getting, one is getting about 200 miles typically. It does depend on how heavy that right foot is. So when you're pulling away in a combustion engine, when it's got a lot of weight in it, you feel that weight. But when you're accelerating, you're aware of that. In these, the battery basically makes up, the motors and the battery makes up for that torque loss. So it's just instant. You just put your foot down and you go. The problem with doing that is it's lovely because you don't feel like you've got a load of weight in the van, but you will take a hammering on the battery if you do that. If you drive it sensibly and you just drive like normal and you're not pulling away, because like I say, they are quick, you'll get about 200 miles. You can do it a little bit better with the regen braking and whatnot, but you'll be getting about 200 miles. If you're doing lots of stop-starting, which is window cleaners we tend to do, they like that. They like going and slowing down because the regen will pull that power back in and put it back into the batteries. If you're doing motorway driving, anything above 50 mile an hour, you'll start to notice that range really starts to shrink. That's a problem. So if you're doing long journeys to your jobs, it's not really great for you. If you're doing short commutes, round town driving, London driving, yeah, like your city, like stop starting, they're fantastic. If you're in a very high traffic area, they're fantastic. They barely use any power at all. That's all good. The only other way to consider it is if you're doing fast charging, it's expensive. If you can charge on your drive, it's a no-brainer, it's fantastic. If you're driving like in cold temperatures, you will notice the batteries, the range will shrink when it's cold, and you'll also notice that if you have the heating on and things like that to keep you warm, it will rein in. Is it terrible? No, it's not terrible at all. But that power's got to come from somewhere, so it's going to be pulled out of the battery. So you'll notice your mileage gets shorter. But then in reverse, when you go into the summer and the warm months, you'll start to notice that the power and your range starts to go up. So they tend to balance each other out, but you have got to bear it in mind over the colder months that your range will creep in a bit. Now, I'm talking like, I don't know, if it's like 170, 160 miles, probably, if you've got the heaters on blast and whatnot. But again, it's going to get you your day done. You're going to get everything sorted. If you're charging at home, there's a lot of companies that are doing really cheap home charging at the minute. If you're fast charging and your idea is that you're going to just fast charge it everywhere, it's not for you. If you're going to charge on your drive and you've got a charger and whatnot, it's perfect. And it's a cheap way of running around and you're in something that's lovely. I mean, the lease companies are doing these for dirt cheap at the minute. And they really are, from Volkswagen, they're a flex. They're a real, look what we can do. So you get all the bells and whistles and you get a really pucker bit of kit. And I highly recommend them. I would say one of the main pluses to having one of these is the styling of it. The styling and the, I wouldn't call it a performance vehicle, but it's the fastest van you'll ever get in. They are, you know, at the minute. What's that?
And the interior.
Yeah. The interior is a massive pro. It's just so nice inside. The screen's lovely, heated seats, like everything. You get all the mod cons of a modern vehicle. You get all the bells and whistles. The downsides of them is the payload and the size. That's literally the only downside currently. But like I say, they're bringing bigger models out. But if it's just you, the amount of heads these turn, when they're all sign written up, everyone looks at them. When you drive one, I know with Dad's one, when we've done Dad's, you drive around, everyone stares at it. Dad said that he's just been picking up loads of work from it just because of people looking at it, people phoning, oh, I've seen your van. They're unusual. I'm seeing more and more of them, but they're an unusual looking van, and I think they're quite stylish. And because of the history of Volkswagen vans, people tend to just naturally like them. So when they see one with all your logoed up, all your system on it, it looks professional, really, really professional, and people like that. So yeah, I highly recommend.